dark psychology of respect, how to make people take you seriously. Respect is never given, it's taken. And if you don't control how people see you, they'll decide you're weak. This video isn't about being liked, it's about being taken seriously. Commanding space, silencing disrespect. We're diving into the dark psychology of respect and how to make it non-negotiable. You don't need to shout, you don't need to threaten, but you do need to understand what signals power and what signals weakness. Let's begin. People respect what they fear losing. People respect what they can't control. The first rule of psychological respect: you must never seem desperate for approval. When you chase connection, when you explain too much, when you tolerate disrespect without consequence, you signal neediness. And the human brain is cruel to what it sees as needy. Dark psychology insight. The brain values what is rare. Make your time, energy, and validation earned. Not free, not automatic. Do this instead. Say less. Pause before responding. Walk away when disrespected, calmly. That's silence. That's space. That's fear of loss. And that builds respect. People judge your status in seconds, long before you say a single word. Think about this. Have you ever walked into a room and instantly felt who was in control, even without knowing them? That's not magic, that's pre-verbal power, the psychology of presence, the dark psychology behind it. Your brain is wired for social threat detection. Before language evolved, humans survived by reading body signals, fast. So when you enter a room, people look at your posture, your face, your movement. They immediately sort you into one of three categories. 1, dominant. 2, neutral. 3, submissive. Respect depends on where they place you, and most people fail this test before they even speak. Signs that instantly signal power. Stillness. Fidgeting screams anxiety. Stillness feels controlled, calm, and unpredictable, which equals danger in the subconscious mind. Chin level. Not raised or lowered. Lifting your chin looks arrogant. Dropping it looks fearful. A level chin says, I see you. I'm not threatened. Shoulders relaxed and squared. Tension in the shoulders signals you're defensive. Drop them back. Occupy space. Keep each shoulder width apart. Solid stance equals solid presence. Don't shift or sway. You look like you can't hold your ground. And most importantly, eye contact. Not as a challenge, but as a calm scan. You don't stare, you observe. You make them feel watched. Predators observe. Prey reacts. What weak people do without realizing. They shrink themselves physically and emotionally. They nod too much. They laugh too easily. They smile before they even make eye contact. They rush to speak, trying to earn attention. All of that screams, I hope you accept me. And here's the dark truth. If you act like you need acceptance, you won't get respect. What to practice? Try this next time you enter a room. Walk in slowly. Make eye contact with at least one person. Say nothing at first, then speak low and controlled. If someone interrupts, just pause and look at them. Don't fight it. Let the silence create pressure. The brain treats the calmest person as the most powerful. Bottom line, speak with stillness. Move with intention. Let your silence say, I don't need to prove myself. You'll adjust. The world senses who carries inner control. If you can hold silence, if you can move slowly, if you can choose stillness over reaction, people will feel your presence before they hear your words. The more you explain yourself, the more you sound guilty. The more you ask for permission, the more you look powerless. Respect comes from framing, not justifying. Most people talk too much when they feel insecure. They ramble, they over-explain. They fill the air with apologies and qualifiers just to feel safe. But here's the dark truth. Explaining weakens your power. Framing builds confidence. Explaining weakens your power. Framing builds it. What is framing? Framing is how you present your words as truth, not opinion. You're not asking people to agree. You're speaking like what you're saying is already accepted. It's not arrogance, it's control. Common weak phrases that kill respect. These are everyday examples of verbal submission. I was just thinking maybe, does that make sense? I could be wrong, but I'm sorry. I just thought, I don't mean to bother you, but these phrases don't sound polite. They sound like fear, and fear repels respect. Replace with framed, powerful alternatives. Here's how powerful people speak instead. Here's what works better. That's not the approach I'm taking. Let's go with this instead. That's off the table for now. We're not doing it that way. No apology, no need for acceptance, just direction. Why this works. The dark psychology angle. Humans are social creatures. When someone speaks with certainty, the brain naturally assumes there's a reason, even if the person is wrong. It's called social proof by tone. The more confident someone sounds, the more people subconsciously trust what they say. That's why manipulators often win arguments. They say everything like it's fact. Framing creates the illusion of authority, and the brain follows authority. How to use framing in real life. Let's take a few real-world situations. At work, instead of, I was wondering if we should maybe try a different design. Say we're shifting to a cleaner design. It performs better, and here's why. In dating, instead of, do you mind if I text you later? Say, I'll reach out later when I'm free. With friends, instead of, I hope that's okay. Say, this is what works best for me right now. It's not about being rude. It's about speaking with internal certainty and not giving people room to question your worth. Key principle. The one who doesn't feel the need to explain sounds like a leader. People will try to pull explanations out of you. Don't fall for it. If someone challenges your frame, keep it simple. That's my choice. I'm clear on my decision. It works for me. Short, calm, final. You don't need to scream to be taken seriously. You don't need revenge. You need discipline and silence. Here's what most people don't understand about respect. It's not built by how loud you react. It's built by how powerfully you withdraw. When someone crosses your boundaries, insults you, mocks you, ignores your worth, most people respond emotionally. They argue, they explain, they overcorrect. And that's the mistake, because when you do that, you tell them, you still have emotional power over me. And that's when they lose respect for you, even if they apologize. Dark psychology principle. Respect isn't demanded, it's enforced through absence. People are conditioned to respond to cause and effect. If they do something disrespectful and nothing happens, they'll do it again and again. But when someone pulls back silently, the human brain panics. Silence is unfamiliar, it's unsettling. It creates a gap, and the mind rushes to fill that gap with guilt, tension, or fear. This is known in psychology as intermittent withdrawal. It's how powerful people train others to respect them without raising their voice. Weak reactions that destroy your power. Why would you say that to me? I thought we were friends. I just want to understand why. Please don't treat me like that. These are emotionally open. They're vulnerable. They may feel honest, but they train others to keep disrespecting you. Silent consequences that command respect. 1. Eye contact plus silence. Don't react. Just stare for 2 to 3 seconds. Let the tension build. Then walk away or change the subject without flinching. 2. Withdrawal without warning. Don't announce you're setting boundaries. Just do it. Stop texting, stop laughing, stop investing. Don't let them feel the shift without an explanation. 3. Change in tone. Drop your energy. Speak slower. Shorter sentences. Fewer smiles. People will feel the contrast. 4. Refuse to engage emotionally. If they provoke you, respond with, noted. I'm not discussing that. That's your perspective. These neutral phrases hold power. They keep you in control. Advanced trick, the sudden shift. Here's how you create maximum psychological effect. 1. Be your usual self, warm, calm, social. 2. The moment someone crosses the line, drop it completely. 3. Go silent, speak short, shift your gaze. 4. Let them feel the drop. This sudden change will confuse and scare them. Even if they don't admit it, they'll ask what's wrong. They'll try to fix things, and in that moment, you've just taken back control without saying a word. Remember, you don't punish with emotion, you punish with abs. This is a work of fiction. Any resemblance to actual people, events, is purely coincidental. Control your emotions, or someone else will control you through them. In dark psychology, the moment you react emotionally, you lose leverage. Why? Because emotions expose your triggers, and the people who want to control you will use those triggers against you. Why most people fail at emotional control? They react too quickly. The second they feel disrespected, misunderstood, or ignored, they lash out. They avoid discomfort. They can't sit in silence. They rush to fix tension, even when it's not their job. This is where manipulators thrive, because if someone can see what makes you flinch, they can build control around it. Think about the most powerful people you've ever seen. They don't shout. They don't panic. They don't explain. They speak slowly. They move intentionally. They remain calm, even in chaos. That's because power isn't about intimidation. It's about restraint, the ability to stay centered when everyone else unravels. In a room full of emotion, the calm person is the one in control. Techniques to build emotional stillness. Here are 5 practical dark psychology habits that silently elevate your status. 1. Master the pause before response rule. Whenever someone says something offensive, confrontational, or challenging, don't respond immediately. Instead, take 2 full seconds, make eye contact, tilt your head slightly, and say less than you feel like saying. This small pause makes you look calculated, not reactive. It makes others question whether they just made a mistake. 2. Use cold phrasing. Replace emotional language with cold logic. Instead of, "That really hurt me," say, "That wasn't acceptable." Instead of, "Why would you say that?" say, "That tells me everything I need to know." This kind of language forces people to recalibrate their behavior around you. You're not begging, you're deciding. 3. Don't overshare emotional states. You don't have to be cold. But in dark psychology, emotional privacy is power. If someone knows what makes you jealous, what makes you feel insecure, what keeps you up at night, they can control you. Instead of saying, "I'm really struggling lately," say, "I'm processing a lot. I've got it handled." Vulnerability is earned, not given away. 4. Use strategic indifference. This is how you show people they can't provoke you. Someone insults you, smile faintly, say nothing. Someone tries to guilt trip you, tilt your head slightly and go quiet. They expect you to fight back because that validates them, but your indifference that burns deeper than anger ever could. 5. Shift energy. Instead of arguing, when someone tries to drag you into emotional chaos, don't fight back. Change the subject. Lower your voice. End the conversation entirely. For example, "I don't have energy for that right now. Let's not waste time on drama. You're emotional. I'm not. Let's leave it there." You didn't argue. You didn't fold. You took control, silently. Emotional stillness isn't suppression, it's strategy. You're not being numb. You're not being robotic. You're choosing when and how to respond on your terms. And that ability, it separates leaders from followers, predators from prey, and people who demand respect from those who command it. Power isn't about being feared, it's about being untouchable. In a world that runs on emotion, control is your advantage, not control over others. control over yourself. Because when you understand how people think, when you recognize the patterns that shape their decisions, and when you stop reacting, you become the one they adjust to. That's what dark psychology teaches. Not how to manipulate recklessly, but how to protect your value, how to hold your ground, how to speak less and still be heard louder than anyone else in the room. Final principle: the person who needs nothing controls everything. No begging, no chasing, no trying to prove your worth, just stillness, precision, presence. Now here's what to do. Rewatch this video, take notes, practice one law at a time, not all at once, and most importantly, use this knowledge ethically. Because dark psychology is real and powerful. And power, when it's in the right hands, protects more than it destroys. Like this breakdown? Subscribe for more deep insights into dark psychology, manipulation, emotional control, and unshakable presence. And let me know in the comments which part hit you the hardest.